Hi, I'm DJ with Kite Paddle Surf, and I'm here to do a quick video and kind of, if I'm a beginner, how do I choose whether I should start kiteboarding or wing foiling? My main answer in this is once you start one and you're sure you want to go with one or you've chosen one, you need to stick to that until you're at least an intermediate in that sport. It can be pretty frustrating to be a beginner in two sports, and what we generally see that person do is not really succeed at either. So first I'm going to start with the beautiful sport of kiteboarding. It's the older sport of the two wind sports. And it's very famous from its images of big air, or sometimes you see it in amazing pictures in waves. Kiting is really amazing because it's definitely the most versatile of kind of the three individualized wind sports between windsurfing, kiteboarding, and now wing foiling. Kiting, with really the same kite and control bar, can be used on land, snow, or water, and at a very, very high, level even on snow. You can jump on snow, you can ride uphill on snow. Because wing foiling and windsurfing, a little bit maybe you can do on land and snow, but it's not exciting like kiting can be on snow. And the other thing with kiting is there are specialized kites for land and snow. So kiting has the advantage of being the most diverse, but that does slow down the learning curve of it a little bit. And I'd say it is the most intimidating of the kind of three individualized wind sports. It is also the most dangerous. So of the three, it definitely requires lessons. I think you should take lessons for any wind sport, just so you understand the wind, the theory, and you can kind of skip creating bad habits. Kiting is just amazing because, again, I can ride different types of board. The same day I can ride a twin tip on the water and I can switch to my surfboard. I can kite foil using a pretty small board and a pretty small foil. So an advantage of this sport is really it's compact. It's the easiest to travel with, whether I'm using surfboards, especially twin tips, and the foils break down really small as well. What I'd say the disadvantages of kiting is that learning curve is a bit slow, a bit frustrating because of the intimidation factor of especially launching by yourself. We don't really recommend kiting independently until you're at least an intermediate and you have very good kite skills, so that you can learn to launch the kite individually, from a few different methods, either off posts or off the ground. The benefits of kiting, as I see it, and some of the downsides of kiting, but just an amazing versatile sport. Coming over to here with our wing foiling gear, this is kind of the newest, the wind sport that you're going to see the most coverage of right now because it is so new, and it's still really exploding in terms of its popularity and what can be done with the sport. The sport is pretty amazing because, kind of like kiteboarding, my power source, which is my wing in this bag, is separate from the board. And in this sport, because they're separate, it gives me the advantage of being able to paddle to a wind line, or when the wind dies, I can paddle away from it. In light wind kiting, when that kite goes down, it can be a pretty exhausting swim with the gear, versus wing foiling, especially on a beginner or intermediate sized board. It's fairly easy to paddle. It's still a bit tiring, but it is a very nice rescue option. Because of this rescue option, this sport, even from the first day, I can comfortably sell you a complete wing foil set. And if you're comfortable in the water and you know what the dangers of being in the water are, you can pretty safely teach this to yourself. Again, I would really recommend instructions, just because you'll skip a lot of bad habits and you'll learn faster. But it is an amazing thing with this sport is I can sell it to you, you can teach it on your own, and you can enjoy it. Another thing with wing foiling that I would say in terms of kiteboarding, that maybe if I really want to jump, or I'm really interested in air and freestyle tricks, this probably isn't the sport for you, at least in its present form. Kiting has an amazing different array of different tricks, different styles in freestyle, from kite jumping or kite foil jumping, unhooked freestyle, the big air tricks, the mega loops. It's pretty phenomenal what a kite can do in the air. Winging, on the other hand, to me is much more of a flow-oriented sport. It's much more like surfing. It's soulful. It kind of slows the mind down. You really just get amazing rides, whether you're in waves or in kind of local swell. Kiting to me is more exciting, and afterwards endearing. You get the excitement and the relaxation, but this one to me is the most kind of soulful, flow-oriented sport of the wind sports that I've done. Foiling is just incredibly addictive. The other thing that you can see as an advantage or a disadvantage of winging is its physicality. I'd relate it much more, you know, on the end of surfing. When you're done foiling, if you've done a good session, you're overall very worn out. It does require good fitness, or you will develop good fitness if you want to wing foil for a long time. Kiting doesn't require necessarily as much fitness. Fitness is still going to help, but because I wear a harness all the time in kiting, or most of the time anyway, you can use the leverage and the weight of the body to hold the force that's generated from the kite. This one, the force most of the time is going to go through your hands. Sometimes when you're just riding and riding upwind, you will hook in, but it's still physically more on the body, pressuring a foil, especially a big foil and big wing foil board, than it is to kite. I don't think one is better than the other. I love them both. The last 2 years, I really have been focusing mostly on wing foiling, but I am going to start strapless kiting a lot again. Thank you for watching this video. Have a great day, and let us know if you have questions.